Príomh-Aire Carney, Diana, agus a gcuine úsla go léir bháil mar dúspáir an óir den sco domsa bheith an seonacht mar híise chun fáiltí fiile a chuir rih Mark agus Diana agus tá sé tachtabhaile in nocht. Prime Minister, it's my great honour and pleasure on behalf of the people of Ireland to welcome you and Diana to Ireland this evening. And if I may say so, to welcome you home. Fáilte a bhaile. Yours is a story that began around 100 years ago. Or at least that's what I thought. That was in the script. Until today, we visited Trinity College. And we looked at the Book of Kells, which was fascinating, fantastic, great privilege to see that. And then we went in to look at the Book of Armagh, which was very intriguing, because we saw there the page opened for Tíorchán's account of St. Patrick's journey through Mayo. And he visits, you won't believe it, Ahagower, and before going to Croagh Patrick. And this is in the script, and the archivist is showing us this. And in that paragraph, Patrick consecrates a church in that place, Ahagower, with the maiden Mahona, who's clearly setting up, we think, a nunnery there. And Patrick said to them, to the people gathered, "There will be good bishops here, and from their seed blessed people will come forth forever in this see." And this is Achad Fubir, and they had received the Mass of St. Patrick. I knew he was visionary, but I never quite knew that St. Patrick was that visionary. And he clearly had Mark Carney in mind. Both of us were genuinely very touched by the archivist's presentation of that today, and all of us were, and also the archivist's kind of love affair with the archival material. I mean, she really treasured it. But of course, 100 years ago, a significant part of your story also, when your grandparents left Ahagower in County Mayo and crossed the Atlantic in search of opportunity and a better life. And like so many Irish families of their generation, they left people they loved, places they cherished, and a country that would always remain part of their identity. They could scarcely have imagined that one day their grandson would return to Ireland as Prime Minister of Canada, welcomed by the people of the country they left behind. It is truly an extraordinary journey. It is in many ways the story of Ireland itself. For generations, Irish people looked westward, across the Atlantic, towards Canada. They carried with them little more than hope, determination, resilience, and a belief that tomorrow could be better than today. And Canada welcomed them in an extraordinary way. Canada gave our people opportunity, community, and a future. There was one year that stands above all others in our shared story, 1847. In one of the darkest times in Irish history, more than 100,000 Irish refugees arrived on Canadian shores. Many had lost everything. Many carried grief alongside hope. And sadly, many never completed the journey. But Canada opened its arms and its heart. Next year will mark the 180th anniversary of that moment. And when I visited Ottawa last September, I was honoured to launch with you, Mark, the flagship Canada-Ireland 180 initiative. This major cultural initiative will showcase the richness of talent in our two nations. In commemorating a defining moment in our shared history, it will celebrate the deep and enduring bond between our peoples, which was born from adversity, compassion, and sustained by community, culture, and values. Musicians, artists, scholars, students, and communities and economists across both countries are already coming together to build something special in 2027. Today, we enjoy a thriving and prosperous relationship that would have been unimaginable in 1847. It is a relationship in which Ireland has become one of the top 10 investors in Canada, supporting over 30,000 jobs across your great country. It is one in which the incredible range of Irish companies represented in this room, innovators, investors and employers in agri-tech, life sciences, energy, construction and advanced manufacturing are active in every province and territory of Canada. They are creating jobs, generating new ideas and building relationships in every corner of our island. Accordingly, today, Prime Minister Carney and I agreed a new framework to take our relationship and partnership even further. It will deepen our cooperation in trade, innovation, research, technology, energy and culture. In the most unpredictable of global environments, we recognise that we have an opportunity to forge new and powerful ties between Ireland and Canada and Europe. And of course, the bilateral relationship between us is complemented by the increasing close ties between Canada and the European Union. Earlier today, Prime Minister, in your speech, you set out a compelling vision of what that relationship could look like. As we take on the European Union presidency from July onwards, we look forward to working closely with you and with our European Union partners to take that important work forward. It was fitting that your speech today also honoured a truly great Canadian. I am so pleased that General John de Chastelain and Mary-Anne de Chastelain have joined us this evening. General, your dedication to peace and reconciliation helped to change the course of this island's history. Your determination, your skillful negotiation, patience and unwavering moral leadership were invaluable. And our debt to you, a debt owed by everyone who calls this island home, is as great today as it was on those historic days. The relationship between Ireland and Canada is about something far greater than trade figures, investments or agreements. It is about people. It is about shared values. It is about warmth and friendship. And those values are reflected in your own life, Mark. Throughout your hugely distinguished career, you have demonstrated wisdom, integrity and leadership at moments of great consequence. You have earned respect, not only in Canada, but all around the world. Tomorrow, you will travel back to Mayo. You will walk the roads your grandparents once knew. You will see the fields, the villages, and the community they lived in. And you will discover something that every member of the Irish diaspora eventually discovers, that Ireland never forgets our own. Tonight, we celebrate an extraordinary journey from Ahagower to Ottawa, from an immigrant family to Prime Minister of Canada, from hope carried across an ocean to outstanding leadership on the world stage. But above all, we celebrate the enduring friendship between our two peoples who have stood by one another through generations. Your grandparents left Ireland seeking opportunity. Tonight, Ireland welcomes their grandson home, and we could not be prouder. Prime Minister Diana Sean agus Mimi Fáilte Abhaile go raibh míle míle maith.
Thank you so much for those thoughtful remarks and for your continued commitment to the strong and enduring relationship idir Éire agus Canada. It is my great honour, Inish, to invite the Prime Minister of Canada, the Right Honourable Mark Carney, to address our guests this evening. Prime Minister, Tá fáilte rót. Monsieur.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm overwhelmed. Thank you, Taoiseach, for those remarkable words, the sentiments. I won't take it personally, between our countries, between our peoples, the most important. Friends, relatives, distinguished guests, colleagues, it is a distinct honor for me to be here with you, to be here in Dublin Castle. This is the first time I've come across the threshold to be here. Certainly, I never thought I would be here. I never thought I would cross this threshold. And certainly, my ancestors probably never would have wanted to, if I were fair. Taoiseach, Micheál, as you captured so beautifully in your remarks, the friendship, the kinship that exists between the Canadian and the Irish people, how special that is. Forged by geography, values, shared culture, carried by generations of authors, poets, artists, entrepreneurs. Not sure how much economists did for it, but I'll take the compliment. Renewed and strengthened by our growing ties, in no small part due to your leadership. We thank you. But what makes this true friendship, true kinship, not just a partnership, is that these are bonds that didn't begin at a summit. They weren't negotiated or signed. They're bonds that began with the crossing of thresholds. As you said, of thresholds of doorways in Mayo, in Cork and Donegal, families or individuals stepping out, looking westward, uncertain of what lay on the other side, only the hope that something better might. People crossing thresholds to start new lives on a new continent without forgetting the old. Now, I'd like to thank you, Mary Concannon, for reintroducing me to an Irish poet and philosopher, John O'Donoghue, who spent much of his life writing and thinking, attending to thresholds, those liminal moments when one thing becomes another, when a person steps out from what they've known into what they cannot yet see. Sometimes this can be crossed in a morning, sometimes it takes a generation. Every one of them, at every one of these crossings, something is handed on. It's not always spoken, not always fully understood, but handed on nonetheless. And O'Donoghue, for those in this room would know his work, wrote, in effect, blessings for people standing on the edges about to cross. That those blessings also hold for those who have already crossed. Again, sometimes who carry on those blessings without fully knowing them. So my grandparents crossed their threshold in Mayo a century ago into a life of a country that was still building itself, as Canada always has. And they were part of 4.5 million Canadians who were the product of similar decisions. Right, James? Yes, absolutely. Today, 500,000 people who travel between our countries every year cross thresholds. Now, there's one other threshold that I'll mention, at which Canada, Ireland, Europe now stand, and that's the rupture in the global system. From rules-based to arms-based, from right to might, from values to vanquished. Where will we go, and to what purpose? And I'd suggest that the thresholds that we have crossed and those before us have crossed, the shared values that have been forged in doing so, will bring us forward. An Irish poet, John O'Donoghue, showed us thresholds. A Canadian poet who found a spiritual home in Ireland can guide us through it. Leonard Cohen called on us to, and you're familiar with this, to ring the bell that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in. in every moment where there's a crack, in this time when there's a rupture, there's possibility. It's our responsibility, it's our opportunity as Canada and Ireland in this hinge moment of history to find that light. And I know we will. So let me conclude and offer a blessing of my own. I'd ask you to charge your glasses, but I don't think you can, so we'll do this in anticipation. And if you can you share it with the rest of us? A blessing to the kinship between the Irish and Canadian people. May we always meet each other at the threshold and cross it together. Sláinte.